The second part of Hidden Treasures of Area Zero, Indigo Disk, is now available. This is pretty much a direct sequel to part 1 of the DLC called Teal Mask. To access all of the content in Indigo Disk, you must have completed the main questline Kitakami from the Teal Mask DLC. I did make a quick video on the Teal Mask DLC stating that the Teal Mask DLC doesn't expand or improve existing problems or content, and that it just doesn't feel spectacular. I have completed the main storyline, nearly completed the Pokédex, and in the process of catching all the legendaries, so I have a good grasp of what Indigo Disk has to offer. So, did Indigo Disk redeem Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? I'm sure everyone has heard about the story in Teal Mask. It can be fully explained in 3 sentences, but as I said before, the events in Indigo Disk probably take place a month after the events in Teal Mask. You're an exchange student at Blueberry Academy where Carmen and Kieran go to school, and it's highly regarded as a battle school. You arrive and are immediately challenged by one of the students, who happens to be Clay's daughter, I believe. And soon after you see Kieran on his evil arc after being rejected by an ogre from Teal Mask, and is the current champion of the Blueberry Academy. To challenge him, you have to beat each member of the Elite Four who reside in 4 different regions of the terrarium. So what can you do at Blueberry Academy? It's worth noting that it's considered a battle school and everyone follows a double battle format. It seems that the level scaling that was seen in Teal Mask doesn't exist anymore, and everyone has Pokemon between level 70 to 86. You get access to the terrarium, which holds roughly 200 more new, returning Pokemon. Along with repeatable side quests, Pokeball throw styles, camera filters, real flying, more legendaries, rebattles with gym leaders and other notable trainers, except for Team Star for some reason. I mean, on paper this looks like a good DLC content update, especially for endgame demons such as myself. Similar to my Teal Mask video, I kept my expectations low, and it's a good thing I did. The main questline was actually pretty good, a lot better than the one in Kitakami in my opinion. Again, the lack of voice acting is much more apparent here again. Especially with scenes with Kieran, I just wish they added some voice lines and it would just make certain scenes just much more impactful. Hopefully it'll be on their list for the next Pokemon game. Catching them all again is the same tedious and boring task. Doing it a third time just isn't enjoyable. I'm almost done with my Pokédex as of right now. I think I'm missing like 10 more. And the reward this time for completing the Pokédex is a Mark Charm, which I know some people like marks, but I'm not that enthusiastic over it, but that's just me. Battling in this part of the DLC was actually somewhat enjoyable. All the battles are double battles, except for rebattles against gym leaders, which kinda sucks. And they all have around like level 80 Pokemon. It would be nice if they could scale with our team, as my team was all level 100s. But, I mean, level 80 is better than, like, level 50. The Elite Four fight and the one against Kieran are a bit challenging, especially for those that don't have level 100 Pokemon. So it's nice having the Battle School be challenging in that aspect. However, there is no Battle Tower, no Battle Frontier, no Battle Subway, or any sort of thing. It's been a year since release, and there are still no good endgame activities unless you still like doing some of the laggy raids, shiny hunting, or doing the online competitive ranked thing. And so, just like after I beat Teal Mask, I don't see myself playing Scarlet and Violet again after completing my Pokédex. Sure, you can rebattle some notable trainers, but they are at level 80, not 100. Every battle is never a real challenge or a real threat to make me want to keep trying and over again to beat it. And this can easily be solved with like a battle tower that scales to your level or scales everyone down to like level 50 or whatever. At first I was excited about the side quests, until I realized they were just repeatable quests. Repeatable quests that cycled between like 7 total quests. Side quests that can only be completed in Blueberry Academy. That part's whatever. But if it's only for Blueberry Academy, then don't show the quest when I'm in Paldea or Kitakami. Some of the quests are lame, such as making a TM, and it's worse of how frequent these quests would appear. And this is your only way to get BP. No way you're telling me I can't get BP through battling trainers in a battle school. This terrible side quest integration just shows how poorly the base game was made. How can you make an open world game with no quest log? So it's to be expected when they make like a makeshift quest log, unless they create a whole new like core feature into the game. That's already bug ridden. But I mean, at least they tried, I guess. As a whole, the hidden treasures of Area Zero, Teal Mask, and Indigo Disk is an alright expansion. To me, it feels like a $20 DLC rather than a $35. The bugs and problems and issues that you had in the base game were never solved or addressed. The storyline was alright, but it never really focused on Area Zero as much as I would have liked it, especially if the DLC bundle is literally dubbed Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. I think Indigo Disk is the better half of the DLC, especially with the many references to Pokemon Black and White, either through characters, locations, music, etc. And I really enjoyed these references. But the DLC never solved the biggest issue that I thought for sure it was going to be addressed: the post game. There are not enough engaging activities to do after completing the main quest. If we compared it to Pokemon Black 2, White 2's post-game content, you had battle subways, world tournaments, White Forest Black City thing, the Battle Institution test or whatever, Pokestar movies, Joy Avenue, and a bunch of like random collectibles to do if like that's your sort of thing. Scarlet and Violet only had like that super easy tournament thing, the raids, and shiny hunting. It's pretty boring. And the DLC did not solve that issue except for adding some trainers that you can rebattle, but for no BP or any meaningful rewards. So going back to the question, did Indigo Disk redeem Scarlet and Violet? There are parts in Indigo Disk that I did enjoy, such as some of the battles and many nods towards the Unova region, especially since my favorite game of all time is Pokemon Black. But it only gave me probably like 3 to 4 hours of enjoyment and being quickly met with frustration. Obviously, if you're a Pokemon fan like me, go for it. There's probably a Pokemon that you really want to catch or just want a new area to explore, even if it's still bug ridden. I won't stop you. This downward spiral of these recent Pokemon games does worry me about the outcome of the inevitable Black and White remake. I'm making sure my expectations are low for this one, but if it releases in a very bad state, just like Scarlet and Violet, I may have to just play the classics for the rest of my life. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video if you like this type of content. I plan on doing more of this on any game that I do decide to play, and if you have any suggestions for any game, you can leave a comment down below or come to join the Discord in the link below that I am active in. See you guys later.